Stuff like this is why I do like the writer of this film, Ryunosuke Kingetsu, as he does seem to have enough respect for even the child audience to let them fill in the blanks.
Okay, y'all off to a good start.
So, yeah, the website is up, and just based on first impressions, I am a little hopeful for this new season. The big reason we'll get to when we talk staff in just a bit, but first, starting from the homepage, we got a nice little shot of all of our heroines and the tagline of the series, "To the vast world we go hop, step, jump?" Yeah, y'all were flirting with Chugokara back in Kirakura, but now you're just outright stealing from them. That's Toei, folks! Anyway, moving into the information section of the website and the story premise of this show, which I will admit right now sounds kind of promising. A great disaster has befallen the peaceful Skyland. You mean aside from dealing with Spiral and Crash? The still infant Princess Eru-chan was taken by one of the monsters of the Undark Empire. Wait, if they're undark, does it mean they're, like, not bad? Or are we trying to break that old Kingdom Hearts stereotype? Because that would be awesome. The brave girl Sora, hey, I was kidding about the Kingdom Hearts stuff, gave chase and fell through a mysterious hole. On the other side, she found herself in another world called Sorashido City. Televisions? Bicycles? Are these magical instruments of some sort? Nah, they're nothing special. Now, Truck-kun on the other hand, well, have a little talk with him, and I'm sure he'll be able to get you back to your world in no time. But Sora didn't have time to be surprised, as she needed to take the princess back to the castle as they bounced between the two worlds. The Precure's journey begins. This looks like a job for a hero.
This looks like a job for Superman.
It's a nice simple premise with the added wrinkle of the two worlds thing possibly leading to some interesting world building if they actually do commute between the two. Moving into the character section, let's actually take a look at Sora, Harewataru, and oh, well. Phew, thank God we're getting some serious mileage off that clip. I mean, we've established that Sora is an otherworlder and a blue, not a pink cure, as that color is going to be used by someone else who we'll get to. But yeah, both of those attributes are more in line with the deuterogonists like Hime and Lala. Yeah, I know green, but I don't know, blue tinted, close enough, right? And yet, in both of those cases, myself and others have said that they were kind of more fitted to be the lead cure, so maybe they're just kind of fulfilling the prophecy at this point. I honestly kind of really like this change up, as we are thankfully moving away from that standard everyday girl character into a fish out of water protagonist, especially going by that story premise. As for the color, well, like Manatsu's brighter rainbowy colors, this does match up better with the major theme of this series being the blue sky and all. Going into her bio, it reads, an athletic Skylander girl who at a young age grew to admire heroes who had saved people from danger. She put her all into her training every day to become just like them. Hey, can't argue with this guy. She met Mashiro, who we'll get to in a bit, in Sorashido and has taken residence with her along with Eru. Her catchphrase is the aforementioned "this looks like a job for a hero" as she transforms into Cure Sky. Said Cure design, yeah, I do really like this. I mean, there's a decent amount of pink in it because we can't totally get away from that design element, but otherwise, there's still more than enough here that makes her look like a leader. From the more regal design of her dress with the puffy sleeves, to hairpin wings that wear the theme of the show loud and proud, and honestly, my favorite element, that cape. Granted that I know Edna Imold wouldn't approve of it.
No capes!
However, even putting aside that whole jet engine thing, I do at least appreciate when capes or scarves are associated with more wind-based superheroes like a certain pinwheel-obsessed rider. Which, on that note, her VA is the fairly seasoned Akira Sekine, who played the mysterious tree-climbing beauty Tokime from Futo PI, so this is gonna be like her second toy-related animation, I guess. She also played Gudako. No, not that one. Yeah, that one. But yeah, for lead Cure's VA, she's actually got a decent resume of magical girls of particular proportions, and just from this little clip, I do think she'll do a good job, so yeah, so far so good on this new take on a lead. Moving on to the deuterogonists, we have the white Cure, yes, ignore all of that pink, again, we'll get to that. Cure Prism, aka Mashiro Nishigaoka. Her bio reads, a kind and thoughtful girl who attends Sorashido Middle School as a second year. She's skilled at cooking. We don't need to raise the red flag just yet. and is also very knowledgeable about nature. Since her parents are often away on business, she lives with her grandmother, Yo-Yo. Okay, 1, that sounds familiar, and 2, really, Yo-Yo? Still, another nice design, definitely screams more deuterognous than the epicness of the lead Sora, but nice variety of colors, and the Prism aspect is nicely represented by this cute little flash design in her overly puffy skirt. Anyway, she's voiced by, Kakuma.
Oh, good. Why, that's very good.
But yeah, not much to read into here, other than it seems like they're purposely calling back to the original Cure White Honoka. We'll see how these two can work off each other, because apparently they're going to be starting off as just a duo. As for these two, Cure Wing and Cure Butterfly, not only do we not have their bios or VAs yet, but apparently they're going to be working separately and might even compete with our main duo. This is interesting, as not only is Butterfly the actual pink of this show, but just this concept of competing heroes reminds me of Lupin Ranger versus Potter Ranger, a Sentai where they literally played cops and robbers who eventually had to work together to defeat a common enemy. It actually made me think that the head writer of that show, Junko Komura, was coming back after having written Healing Good, but nope. Or not exactly, should I say. Anyway, we'll save talking about these two when they get their bios and VAs. So last up is Eru, who,
that's a shame.
I mean, I don't think she deserves the other Seinfeld clip, but, yeah, maybe she just become the Sixth Ranger sooner rather than later. I mean, come on, she's voiced by Aoi Koga. If they don't have freaking Kaguya-sama or Siegfried's berserker waifu voice of Precure, then someone deserves to be fired. Anyway, her bio doesn't say much, other than that she is the one who gives the Precure their transformation trinkets, the Sky Stone, so yeah, standard god baby stuff. With that, let's go back to staff listings. And since we just went over the VAs, let's look at the main staff. First, we have in the director's seat, Koji Ogawa. For this franchise, he's best known for directing New Stages 2 and 3, and has been an on and off episode director ever since Heartcatch. Personally though, I know him best for directing the excellent 2018 revival of Gegege no Gitaro. That credit alone gives me a lot of hope, as while not exactly Magical Girl, unless you count Neko Musume, it was still a good action anime, so that's at least very promising for this show. Character designer will be Atsushi Saito, who I'm not too familiar with. The one credit I kind of recognize is Love Live Superstar, which I know is an idol anime of some sort. Feel free to let me know if you're familiar with him and his work. From there, we have mostly the usual suspects for art design and such, but going into music, we unfortunately need to say goodbye to Shiho Terada and her amazing work for this franchise, and say hello to Erika Fukusawa, who, well, she's very pretty, but I'm not too familiar with her work, so we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. But now, my friends, it's time for the main event. This was the cred we speculated the most about, even making a whole video out of it, and it was nothing we predicted, of course. But I'm also not at all disappointed with the return of Ryunosuke Kingetsu. Why exactly? Well, I think I can sum it up with just this one clip.
空と海が溶け合ってこのまま海を越えて空まで行けそうな
Yep, he was my favorite secondary writer for Healing Good, as well as the great writer of Sea of Dreams. In my opinion, he's a strong writer who understands the importance of that one term I always obsess over, visual storytelling, and his use of symbolism is really good, and if anything, he's also just a fun writer. I mean, I've enjoyed a lot of his works, like Ninja Nonsense, or How Do These Things Keep Appearing in My Hand? Yeah, okay, I won't say stuff like Ulysses John, Samurai Girls, or Rogue Hero are high art by any means, but they're fun, stupid fan-servicey romps. Plus, he did write a bunch of episodes for the aforementioned Gegege no Kitaro, so he does have experience with director Ogawa. This to me will always be the most important cred, and while I did try to play up Sawaka Hirobayashi last year, in spite of her limited credentials, I do feel a lot more confident with Kingetsu this year. He's been around the fence more than once, and while not my personal final choice for writer, still holding out for Naruhisa Arakawa, he does at least make me cautiously optimistic for the series. Add in a fairly well-seasoned director, including for one of the best crossover films, some seasoned VAs, and I do feel like we're in good hands this season. Still, what's y'all's thoughts? We certainly have a lot more, but I just wanted to make a quick video because honestly, I'm kind of still recovering from a little cold, so yeah, I'm not even gonna try to stay up to Ed tonight, so unfortunately, you'll have to wait on that delicious party review. Don't worry, I'll still try and get out probably tomorrow night. I just don't want to risk a relapse after just about recovering from this cold. Still do look forward to it. Until then though, farewell for now, my friends, and if you'll excuse me, I think I just got a little ironing to do.